So, who is Prashanth? And we want you to introduce yourself without involving work.
There's nothing I can read. I'll probably read an instruction manual. Teaching young kids.
Yeah.
Explaining technology using non-technology terms.
I am a proper Coimbatore.
But I think we need to bat for Coimbatore.
The Bangalorification of Coimbatore needs to be studied.
Yeah. All of us are good bat for our cities, but I think everyone's good.
Having what is that? Liberal parents is a privilege than having wealthy parents, right? We have access to this knowledge, but the network that you will build, the relationships that you get there, that is invaluable.
We didn't borrow any money from parents. Whatever profits came from a first deal, we were profitable from day one. First transaction, we were profitable. So when you're in an environment where there's no pressure, then I think no, you do your best. Not having capital is good. Yes.
How big is Quadra today?
We put 350 people.
So today, do you think there's an opportunity for someone to come and start another company like Quadra? So hi Prashanth, good evening. Welcome to Ground Up.
Thank you.
So the goal of this podcast is to hear from Coimbatore-based entrepreneurs who have built really large, profitable businesses. Oftentimes your stories don't come out. Unlike other people who do a lot of PR, we are all very conservative people by nature. We don't tell our stories. Our goal is to bring your own story from your own lens, from your own words. That's the goal of the podcast, to inspire a lot of people who can start companies today, who can follow your journey, so that they build another big company and employ a lot of people in the future. That's the sole goal of it. We can be as casual as we want in this entire podcast, right? So yes, welcome to the show. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you, Tarun, and thank you, Santoshi, for having me here. Let's
We'll
begin.
go. Yes.
Thanks, Prashanth, once again for joining us. So, we'll start with the very basic question that we always do with podcasts. So, who is Prashanth? And we want you to introduce yourself without involving work.
Yeah, that is a really difficult question.
This is a very tough question. We tried answering it ourselves,
Right.
but we hardly were not able to answer.
I can understand. No, because work is what defines us all this time. So it's very difficult to separate the both. But I guess if I had the option to take a day off, what would I like doing? You would find me, in a room full of equipment like this because I love photography.
Wow.
Right.
Okay.
So photography is a thing, and then I would love to have enough books. I would like to go on a drive. I mean, these are so photography, reading, and driving. I think these three are what would keep me, interested. And if there's one thing I could do, if I had enough of time, I think that would be photography. So possibly, a profession that I hope to take up sometime in the future.
Okay.
I know.
So, if not for work, you love driving, reading books, and doing photography. Is it something that someone inspired you to do, or is it self-taught, or is you wanted to do it for a long time? This is the time you get enough time to do it.
Yeah. So I started reading, because that's my first, the first thing I acquired. Now, when I was a kid, I used to hate reading books.
Oh, wow.
And my dad used to, keep telling me, you got to read, you got to read, and I detested. So I'll always tell him. So we speak, I'm originally from Kerala, so we speak Malayalam at home. Okay. And I'll tell my dad, tell me in Malayalam. I can't, don't tell me in English. So he used to buy, those days you didn't have, so I'm giving away my age. You didn't have so many bookstores. So whenever my dad traveled to Chennai, he would, buy those books from Chennai and then come home. So he'll come home late at night or early in the morning, depending on how we reached. And then he would, put me next to him and then he'll read out those. And those books were like, Tintin and Asterix. That is, so really young. Like
How old were you?
I don't know, maybe 4 years types. 4 5 years, just learning to, think. And I can't understand, obviously, read and understand well. So he would just go word by word. I'll say, don't tell me in English, tell me in Malayalam. I can't understand this.
Yeah.
But he sat, night after night after night. And then I think there's one time when I think that spark finally ignited. And from then I haven't let go of books. They've been a constant companion. So voracious, I'll read anything that I can get my hands on. There's nothing I can read. I'll probably read an instruction manual, but I need to read something, right? So that's how reading the first habit started. Photography much later, obviously, because it is an expensive hobby. So I had to wait until I earned some money before I could indulge in photography. Most photography I do is wildlife. I love going on tiger safaris. So I have really good clicks of tigers. The last trip was Masai Mara about a year back. So we got some amazing clicks there as well. So wildlife photography and the not so wild photography of people, I like doing that. Yeah.
Very interesting.
And then driving, obviously, again, I had to wait for some time before I could do that. But yeah, that is something I obviously picked up later as well.
I think 2 or 3 hobbies are overlapping with mine. I love reading as well, and I love driving, mainly because it helps me take my mind off things. But when you speak about reading, why reading, you've told that it was a habit that you inculcated as a child. What do you read now, and how has reading evolved over years? Maybe a few things that you could also talk about which would help people read, a few habits that they can take up to bring in that regular reading skill in themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, so what I can remember about what I used to read when I was a kid, I think, from all the Asterix and the Tintins and the Amar Chitra Kathas, when you graduate past the cartoon, age and then get into, so you started with the typical, when I was in fifth, sixth standard with
the kids
Hardy
magazine,
Boys and the Nancy Drews and
Famous Fives.
Famous Fives and Enid Blytons and those were the first books, obviously. But then he quickly moved on to, I think one of my favorites was Agatha Christie.
Yep.
That I think I pretty much finished everything. And then my absolute favorite till now was P.G. Wodehouse. I love reading P.G. Wodehouse simply for the beauty of the language, right?
Yeah.
And so many times I've just burst out into laughter just reading, books and it's something you can read and read and read again because there are nuances that you pick up. But now most of my reading is it's not fiction, it's non-fiction. So obviously, given work and so it's anything, autobiographies, books on technology, books on just about any topic that I find interesting. So the book, and then a lot of my reading today happens on Blinkist as well, because if I find a book really interesting, I'll quickly go through it on Blinkist, and if I find it really good enough, then I can go buy the book and then read the whole book, so I get all the nuances. But if I just want to grab the gist of a book, then I use Blinkist, the app, if you use it, and then so it gives you short summaries of every book, like in blinks. So it condenses a book, let's say into say 8 or 15 or 20 blinks, which is about a page.
Yep.
And it's think of it like a book summary, but it gives you the whole book, contents. So you get to read it and then decide if you want to read the whole book or not.
Oh, very interesting. I have not heard of this app.
Yeah, I haven't heard it as well. Yeah.
Okay. I am teaching young kids something.
Yeah. And what are you currently reading?
Right now, there is this book I'm reading on managing the professional services firm. That's on my that's on my desk right now. Yeah.
And absolutely agree with you about the language back then and all the brain rot that we're going through with reels today. So, yeah.
The attention spans are totally low, right?
Yeah.
It is. That's the sign of the times. Yeah.
Yes. That's the curse that all of us have today. The attention spans are totally low. For me, I started reading when I was in the 5th, 6th standard. I started reading Jamshedji Tata's biography.
Oh,
it was for a kids read. I was sitting in a corner and reading. Ever since then, I picked up the reading habit. Do you have a defined time in your calendar? Like, this is my reading time, or you'll just simply sip a coffee and pick a book and read? Is it something like that?
I don't think I have a defined time. That is the luxury that entrepreneurship doesn't afford for just about anything. It's just not about reading. Just so I manage to do it whenever I can. Sometimes if there is a bit of a quiet period in office, there is always a few books. If you come to my room, you will see there's a few books behind my table, so I'll just quickly pick and go through one. Right. Or at home when I get back over the weekend, or if I'm on a break, I'll carry a book. Or on a plane, I can catch up with the book. So those are the easy ways. So there's no defined time, for sure.
It's lovely to hear. Maybe we'll go on.
Yes. So yes, the reason that we asked you a question to introduce yourself beyond work is because a lot of us today, our entire life is tied to work. Yes. We don't have an identity beyond work. Okay, now coming to the important question, what do you do at work? What you are doing right now? What are you up to these days? I know you run a tech company in Coimbatore. I understand it to a decent level, but I would love for you to explain about it in a very simple, foundational terms to our audience.
Right. Okay, so explaining technology using non-technology terms is not going to be so easy. So let me, I'm famous at the office for giving examples. Right?
All right.
I don't know if they say that because it's so horrible, like dad jokes, or because, as I would like to think, that I give good examples.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the example I can probably give you is, so what do we do at Quadra? Let's think of, a business as a city.
Okay.
Right? Now, city has numerous problems, right? Potholes being one of the biggest challenges. This and then it can go on, right? So, if I look at the roads as networks, if you look at the power, as the cloud, right? And if I look at, the police and other things that as security, right? Traditional services businesses just focus on fixing potholes.
Right.
Wherever there are potholes, right there, fix it up, roads look good as new.
Yeah.
But then that's a very reactive way of looking at it. So what do we want to bring to our customers? So we want to think of ourselves as an architect for the city. So what does the architect do? Of course, we can tell you how to fix potholes.
Right.
But then I'm more interested in growing the city and creating a space and a framework for the city to grow
Okay.
where livability doesn't become a challenge. So growth usually comes at the cost of livability. So how do you grow a city without compromising on livability, or the nice things about a city? So how do you, translate that into a business now? I'm not so much trying to solve reactive problems for a business, as in there's this problem. This process is slow. I need to speed it up. I need to make it more efficient. Rather, if they want to acquire customers faster, if they want to, reduce their expenses, or they want to increase profitability, then how do I actually help them get there?
Alright.
And it becomes part of a larger story I am trying to architect, rather than just being able to solve a small specific problem. So, like the architect for a city, our tagline as a company is architecting ambition.
Oh.
So every business has an ambition, right? And they want to do something. They're there for a purpose, and they, as a business, have an ambition that, look, this is what we want to do. It could be in terms of number of customers, revenue, impact, whatever a business wants to do. Now, our job at Quadra is to be the architect with an ambition, and the tool that we use in that process is technology.
Okay.
So that's what we do.
So you help them find the problem, or they come to you with the problem?
We could do both.
Okay.
We could do both. No, it could be, and not every problem is apparent. There are times when everything looks good on the surface, but then scratch the surface and you find that there are challenges. As you will understand in consulting. So that, as well as problems that come to us, but then which are actually broader, deeper, and probably different in context. Right? I mean, you like working out, right, Tarun? So a pain in one part of the body is never a problem at that spot. It's due to a muscle that's tight or strained at some other spot, and you'll find that you actually have to stretch some other part of the body to remove a pain in another part of the body. So I think that applies to businesses as well.
So when you say businesses, what size are these businesses? Are they very huge or small? Can you define, like, who does a proper customer to Quadra?
So most of our customers, I would say, are mid-market customers. We don't work with very small customers. We work with mid-market, right up to the large enterprises. So we worked with, I don't want to take names, but we worked with every single large brand, business conglomerate you can name in India. And they're our customers.
In any specific sector or sector?
Across sector. So our work tends to be horizontal.
Okay.
We are not vertical specific. We are more horizontal.
Right. Right.
That brings me to another question again. You'd call this as traditional services businesses, right? And with how technology is evolving today, would you still call it traditional, or would you say that the industry in itself is changing and you're also seeing that companies are adapting to these changes?
Yeah. So the bracketing of companies as services companies or product companies or anything in between, I also think is our worldview. It's not the customer's worldview, right? Yeah. The customer doesn't get up in the morning and say, I want to talk to a product company today, or I want to talk to a services company tomorrow. That's not the customer's view, right? It's pretty much like an app that you use. I mean, you wouldn't mind if the app was written in React or if it was written in Java.
That doesn't
How does
matter.
it matter? It's as long as it does the job you want it to do. So I think a large, all these semantics about services, product, are views of how customers look at it. But I think I will always go back to what is the outcomes, right? I mean, there's so much to talk about outcome-based, delivery today, but that is what has always been. You want to make sure that the customers get where they are supposed to go, and it is our job, to be, sort of like a GPS in that journey. Tell them, okay, these are the bends and curves you need to navigate. These are the routes you need to take. You're going to hit a jam there. You're going to hit a block there. Go this way and choose this route, and you will be in safe hands. Your business is in safe hands. So that is what I think we focus on, rather than thinking of ourselves as services or product, or we are services, we only in product, or anything in between. I think that's a very and as you can see today in today's world, that entire construct is breaking down.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
So from software as a services, people are talking about services as software. Right? Yeah. You're seeing, I don't know if you've had a look at Google's, A2I, which is A2UI rather, which creates an agentic UI on the fly. So all chatbots today, you chat with them, right? You type something and then it gives you a response back, and you type something back.
Yeah.
But imagine, an agentic AI system where you ask a question, it generates a UI on the fly to you. No, this is not a standard UI, as in the screen has been defined before.
Yeah.
It generates a UI on the fly for you, so you can actually give all the relevant inputs and then proceed to have the LLM answer the question for you. As compared to you typing or talking, to it non-stop and going back. And imagine booking a ticket.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to fly to Bangalore. Right. Okay, what date? It asks. Then you give date. Okay, how many people?
Yeah.
Economy or premium economy or business. Right. Do you have a preference in terms of time, morning or afternoon or evening? I mean, how many questions can go? But instead, if it can generate a UI which just gives you all these options, and in a very simple pick and choose, tuck tuck tuck, you do all that, it gets the input, and then okay, flight booked,
Yeah.
satisfying all your conditions. That I think is how fast things are progressing. So this, I think, concept of product, services, nothing matters. All that matters today in this world is outcomes.
Right.
Are you delivering the outcomes for your customers? And if you're doing that, I don't think the customer's really bothered about what you did to deliver those outcomes. As long as you're doing that consistently, and in a manner that satisfies their expectations and ambitions and aspirations.
Just another question related to the same topic is, he mentioned about like agentic AIs with the whole AUI interface. Very fascinating. I've never heard about it also. But just one quick question there is that, given there's a lot of AI play field right now, do you see your customers' needs also evolving, as in going from very basic asks to now that AI automatically makes a lot of things more efficient? Do you see the world also progressing towards a much more efficient space? Customer asks becoming very different from what it used to be traditionally. I would love to hear you from that front. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to don a bit of an astrology hat and crystal ball. Like, there's nothing in front of me, but I'm going to imagine that.
Yeah.
So what is changing? I don't think customer needs have changed fundamentally, right? And we've been in business for 25 years, and I don't think, at least over the last 25 years, customer needs have been the same. I want to grow. I want to grow faster than the competition or above industry growth rates.
Yep.
I want to reduce costs. I want to increase profitability. I want to identify new revenue streams. Those basics have never changed, right? Those same. But how you achieve them has changed, right? You used to have different processes and tools then, and different processes and tools now. Now the rate of change, has really, increased. It is very, difficult to keep pace with how consumer expectations are changing, because that's the root of it, right?
Yeah.
So why are consumer expectations changing? Because if you and I are used to an app-based delivery, let's say you go to, we're famous for Blinkit and Instamarts and instant commerce, e-commerce.
Yeah.
And that's the experience you want with any business you interact with.
Right.
So you get that product in 10 minutes, and you share for the fact that your bank account takes 3 days to open. right? So your consumer experience actually spills over to your business consumer experience, or your business customer experience, and therefore businesses now have to reset their clock.
Yep.
You can't keep changing or evolving at the pace at which you think you've done so far, even if you've done a good job of it. Customer needs are changing much faster than before. Therefore, the pace at which you need to change is important. Now, for that to happen, how do you go? That's where I think these tools really make a impact. So they make you so much more efficient at doing things. And I'll explain why this AI wave and how I see this AI wave hitting.
Yeah.
So the answer, we have these Iron Man posters around office. Have you seen them? Did you see them?
I didn't notice.
They'll be there on
Okay.
wallpaper. You'll see them here, there. And why did I say that? So to tell my team, Tony Stark, is an ordinary human being.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any special powers, right? But how does he become one of the Avengers? I mean, how does he take a punch from the Hulk, or when he's in a playful mood, or from any one of the villains who dot the galaxy? That's because of his Iron Man suit.
Correct. Which he architected himself.
Which he architected himself, or
No superpowers,
that's
yes.
that's for now besides the point. But that makes him a super human in the sense he can see things, he can do things, he can fly, he can lift or take great stress. And that's what I think AI has to do for all of us. So AI is this Iron Man suit that all of us, I think, need to don to make ourselves so much more productive in every aspect of our operations. And that individual productivity is, I think, is what then flows up down to enterprise productivity. And that's when I think we'll be able to evolve at the speed at which you, again, are a consumer. Right? You may be an employee or an entrepreneur, but you are also a consumer yourself. Right? And I think that's a chain. No? So, you need to then keep that going. So that's how I think AI. So AI augmented, humans, I think, are the way to look at it, rather than AI replacing humans. I mean, obviously that will happen. Any technology change will move job levels up in a different layer of abstraction, meaning what you used to do today might be something that might be automated, so you just keep moving up that layer. But then I don't think we should have a world, or we will have a world where AI is going to do stuff for us and it's going to be irrelevant. We're just going to be biological bags. I don't think that scenario is going to happen.
Oh, that's. I think your greatest storytelling is what I could take away from all this. Should write a book sometime for sure.
I should try.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, we can.
Yes, and then when I and Santoshi were researching about you, trying to find everything that was available on the internet,
It was very difficult.
All good
very
stuff.
difficult. It's very difficult to find information. But what I understood from your LinkedIn, which is the primary source, is that, see, very often I would say I am a proper Coimbatore boy. I grew up here, I was born here, I went to school, college, didn't leave the city for work, started up here, wanted to create a change from here. I used to flaunt this to my friends. But when I read about you, I think you are the proper Coimbatore boy. You were also born here, if I'm right. You school, college, and you didn't leave outside for work. You started up here. Tell us about it. It should. I think this can go right from your childhood, from where it all started, up until how Quadra began.
Yeah, so you're right. I was born here. I did all my education here. I started my business here, and although we have offices in multiple cities, I think I still live and work out of Coimbatore. Right? I haven't ever considered moving to our registered office, which is in Bangalore. And it's always been Coimbatore. I think there's something, but I think everybody is going to say that about their city. Mumbaikar will tell you that about Mumbai, but I think we need to bat for Coimbatore. There is something about the city that I think, there's a culture. And you mentioned it earlier in your conversation about being conservative, right? We, say we do not like to talk too much about ourselves. We do not like to, what would I say, wax eloquent, saying we did this, we did that. So if we did 100 things, we'll probably say, we did about 50, and we'll stop. And then we did a little more than that. That's a nature, right?
Yeah.
That's one. The second thing is, I think, is also this, you can get done mindset. There is nothing in the city where people are going to say, I can't get it done. I mean, this is a city which literally, it's this, what would I call it? This is Autobot framework, no? It is improved itself thanks to its own people, right? yes, obviously, governments and administration, they all have a part to play. But I think over and above all that is how the people of Coimbatore have always come together to make the city a much better place.
Correct.
Across diverse range of things, across infrastructure, across, environmental causes, across social causes. And that I think is a defining aspect of Coimbatore, and those are things that stay with you. They become part of what you are. So I think it's very difficult to separate me from Coimbatore or Coimbatore. I know either way. So it's that defines you as a person, and I think it's also helped us in good stead. So when our first customers were in Coimbatore, the most demanding customers. They trained us really well. Right? They put us through the toughest, hoops and loops.
Yeah.
So any other customer conversation was always easier than a Coimbatore customer conversation. So they trained us really, really well. They gave us the most difficult task to do. So we thought, okay, this is the the IITs or the IIMs of entrepreneurship. And if a city could don that role, and I think Coimbatore should be that university which can create those entrepreneurs anywhere. So that I think, and then the fact that everything and like is around you. So those are some social and other things which eventually cost us to stay here. So my wife makes fun of it. She's from Bangalore. She said, I thought I had to downgrade and come to Coimbatore. I said, hey, what do you mean downgrade? You actually upgraded yourself coming to a city like Coimbatore, right?
So she moved from Bangalore to...
She moved from Bangalore to Coimbatore. I mean, she grew up in Bangalore, she studied in Bangalore, and then moved to Coimbatore. I said, look, you upgraded in life, it's not the other way around. Any day we hold a head high.
Whoever from Bangalore seeing this will be offended.
Yeah.
Come here.
Yes.
We'll upgrade you. Yeah.
The Bangaloreification of Coimbatore needs to be studied.
Yeah, I know. No, but jokes aside, I think every city has its own unique culture. I mean, be it Bangalore, be it Mumbai, be it any city in India or for that world. I think they have their own unique culture, and that's part of what I think makes the country such a beautiful place, right?
Yeah.
I mean, all of us bring. So again, go back to a dialogue I tell my team. All of us have different skills.
Yeah.
I do certain things well. I'm horrible at many other things. And you all come with respective strengths, which is why we all form a great company.
Yep.
I cannot do anything by myself, right? So that is, I think, also applies to at a more macro level. So different cultures, different worldviews. That I think form us because of the environment we grew up in, the cities we grew up in, Bangalore, Chennai, Coimbatore, Mumbai, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
I think that is what I think makes for a great. I think today we have employees across the country, and I think they make us so much more, more productive, more diverse,
Yep.
more inclusive, and able to look at a problem from different viewpoints rather than from one constrained viewpoint that we typically look at. So I think that's a great thing. Yeah. All of us are good bad for our cities, but I think everyone's good.
I said this once online. Coimbatore didn't grow with the government support. It grew despite the government support. Do you think that's true? Like the people of Coimbatore made the city what it is today?
Yeah. So, I mean, I will never discount what the administration or the government is doing. I mean, they're all doing their respective parts. But I think Coimbatore stands out in the sense that the people, took it upon themselves to play their part, more than play their part. So that I think has been the way Coimbatore grew as a city, from the tiny village it was, how the earliest entrepreneurs in the city built the city, and how they've shaped the city in terms of keeping it a livable, a pleasant place to live and work in. I think that definitely I think is something that is unique to Coimbatore.
Okay, we saw you did your BSc in PSG and you continued your MBA in the same college.
Yes.
Was it a choice or you were very stubborn about studying in the same college? Or not leaving the city also was your choice, or was it an accident, or was it a compulsion?
So we were kind of curious because we were wondering what led to these choices.
Yeah, I know there is an answer. So I always felt education is less about textbooks, and more about the environment in which you study. So, and I thought PSG Tech was an environment that I really wanted to be in. So I was prepared to compromise on my choice of courses.
Okay.
But I wanted to be in my choice of environment.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And that way I think applied sciences, that's a little known course. It's BSc Applied Sciences and offered only in engineering colleges. So we learned a little bit of everything. We learned civil, mechanical, electrical, electronics, engineering. So we did all the stuff that engineering students do, that all the branches do.
Okay.
And we also learned applied sciences, which is like applied math, applied physics, applied chemistry. So it was a very, very difficult course to complete.
Is it still available?
It is still available.
Okay.
And it is a very difficult course to complete, not easy at all. And the masters of this course, I mean, the dropout rate is so high simply because it's insanely difficult
Okay.
to study. So, but I think it gave a great foundation. I know a little bit of everything. So no matter what the topic is, I think I can grasp a little bit around the edges to things. So I think that is a fantastic foundation. And then the environment is good because the faculty or the people that you're exposed to, the friends that you make, the colleagues, the connections that you make that last a lifetime. That I think was great. And then I think was the case for doing my MBA. And I thought that would be, I would just continue that. And then, as you would have it, we also started a business from Coimbatore. Yeah, so that's how it went. Yeah, it was a conscious choice.
Okay, it was a conscious. Your parents influenced it?
I don't think parents. I mean, they were all for do whatever you want.
What were your parents?
So my dad ran. He used to work at a steel company. He was running sales for them. Then he moved on to start his own business, in the same field. My mom has been a housewife throughout.
Right.
So I don't think they ever influenced me in terms of do this, do that. And they were like, whatever you do, we'll back you up. Is the only thing they ever told me. So whatever decisions I took, I think it's thanks to the freedom that they gave me. And any mistakes that I made is purely due to my bad execution.
Having what is that? Liberal parents is a privilege than having wealthy parents, right?
Absolutely. That wealth is the greatest wealth of all.
Yeah.
That is a wealth that doesn't erode. It always grows.
Yeah.
Material wealth can disappear in a blink.
Right. So you did your BSc from PSG, MBA from PSG. Let's say today there is this 21-year-old who completed this BTech from PSG. Like you, would you tell him to go and pursue MBA? This is a very controversial topic that happened recently from Nikhil Kamat's podcast too.
Right.
Would you suggest him to go do an MBA, or would you suggest go do ABC, or would you suggest him to start up straight away after his college? What would you suggest today?
Yeah, that's a question I get a lot. What's the right time to start? Or what's the right course to pursue?
Yeah.
I think it all boils down to, do you have clarity on what you want to do? Most of the courses that people end up taking are just taken because they don't know what else to do. Right?
Yeah.
I think that's largely true, right? So if you're clear on what you want to do, if you have a clear path, this is the kind of education I need, because that's step 2, because I know what I'm going to do for step 2. So this is a launch pad to that phase.
Yeah.
Then you get the right education that you want, be it a master's course in engineering or science subject, or a master's in business, or whatever you want to do, or be it I found the right idea that I want to work on, and this is the right time to do it. So education is secondary. If you want to drop out of college, as is very popular nowadays, you can. That's an option to pursue. So there's no saying that you do 1, 2, 3 things and then you start, or you do ABC courses and then you go and do something. No, that's not the answer.
Tarun in this room I think he's intrigued by this thing. He's on the verge of dropping out.
Oh my God. I don't want to get anybody to drop out. Yeah, but education does. So education not for the classroom part. So I remember when we did our MBA, right? I was always involved in some association activity or some co-curricular activity.
Right. Yeah.
I was never in class. I was always outside class. But that is the greatest learning. And MBA is not a subject you sit in the classroom.
Correct.
It's not a technical subject that you have to learn, in a classroom and take down notes. I think it's an exposure. It's a mental framework.
Yeah.
It is insights that you get from talking, and to people that I think is what we gain.
It's a relationship building exercise, right?
Everything. I mean, everything comes in. And also, it's about organizational capability. You organize stuff, you get things done, you learn how, that kind of prepares you for, those are the, Lego toys, for you to build your house in real life.
I 100% agree with you, because when Tarun and I were discussing this, I think we had very different opinions on whether one should pursue an MBA or not. But at least personally, I think that it opens up a lot more doors than
Yes.
you would normally think some education would. So
It would.
yeah.
Very much. Because the connections that you make in these things, especially if you study at a top tier institute as you are planning to do, is those are, we talked about, wealth, right? And that's a wealth that you carry and that grows beyond, anything you can imagine, over the next few years, the next few decades. That's something that you can always draw on at any point of time in your career. So that is invaluable. It's not so much about the textbooks or the courses that you learn. I mean, those are just, how would I say, they're just guidelines. Right? They're like lane markers. Lane mark, you don't lose your mind over lane markers.
Yeah.
You focus on getting to where you want to go. The lane markers tell you how to get there safely, but that's not your objective, no?
Yeah.
To say that I followed all the road markings. That's not the thing. So that's where textbooks are.
I mean, I feel very validated. Thank you.
I was telling the same, the knowledge that's available, let's say in an MBA 2-year program, that's democratized. Anyone, I believe, we have access to this knowledge. But the network that you will build, the relationships that you get there, that is invaluable. Building that kind of network in a top tier MBA college, that today is through an MBA is much easier, I believe.
And also the experience, I think, like you mentioned, the clubs and the things that you do, I think stays on for life. I
Very much.
had a very small glimpse of it in my undergrad, and
Right.
I think till date remains as one of the core memories that I carry forward. So,
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
I mean, so then what is then the need for education, right?
yeah.
So, I mean, again, I'll start with my infamous
Yeah,
examples. You go to this really nice restaurant, which has got like, 500 items on the menu.
Yeah.
You're like, what do I choose? You'll end up choosing the wrong items. They may be good, but they're not what you want for. Imagine you had somebody who's been there, done that, and tells you, order these things. Order this first, order this next, and then definitely get this for dessert. Isn't that what teachers are supposed to do today? So knowledge or intelligence is available at your fingertips. So it's not a question of somebody's going to impart the knowledge to you. Somebody's going to curate the knowledge to you. And I think that's the changing role, or that's a new role for a teacher.
Okay.
What should you do? How should you do? When should you do? I think that is where it's going to boil down.
Right. So you complete your MBA. How did Quadra happen? What was the spark? What is the first inception of the idea?
I wish I could tell you there's this fancy vision that we started with.
Or two friends going to a bar, you have an idea that's written on a napkin.
Yeah.
Something like that. No fancy
And
stuff
then
like
a camel walked in. No.
Yeah.
So, one thing was very clear. So the genesis was we wanted to do something on our own. We definitely didn't want to.
You're very clear on that.
Yeah, I was very clear. Let's do something on our own. If you are in Coimbatore and this is the land of entrepreneurship, then why would you do something else? Great.
Because in our city, the first question they ask is, Thambi enna tholil pandringa?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
they
the first
expect that as an
question,
answer rather
Yeah.
than asking what.
Enga velak poringa, and people don't ask.
No. That's how the city is. So then, that's the easy part, right? The difficult part is what do you do? Okay, on your own, what do you do? I mean, there's manufacturing. I mean, manufacturing is the ocean in itself. But then that was the right time when technology was booming, right? And so that and then given the inherent interest that we had in technology, me and my co-founder Nagaraj, okay, that seems like a good area for us to grow. I mean, this industry is just starting to blossom. Let's get in early, and then let's see what we can do there. So, did we visualize that this is where we will get and this is how we will get there? Absolutely not.
Okay.
Sorry to disappoint, on all the grand vision statements. I mean, that is true, right? I mean, stuff that you read in business books is written post facto. It's retrofitting facts. That doesn't happen. I think in real entrepreneurship and business, you go a little bit of the way. And I think there's some famous statement by, I don't know, some Helen Keller or something which says you walk as far as the lamp's light will show you. And then when you reach there, you will see the next few things. So that's how we went. How can you then take the right bends, take the right folks on the road, make the right decisions from time to time, build a band of people who will come along with you, right? I mean, you start alone, but then you build a team that comes along with you, and that you take the right turns all the time. You do the right things, right? You do not destroy the road you came in, and you add more value than you took from the surroundings.
Yeah.
If you just do that, consistently in your own little way, you don't have to do dramatic, because today's definition of business is, oh, you're not, when are you going to hit your $1 billion valuation? Not every business has to be $1 billion or $100 billion. If you're delivering value to a group of people, if you're delivering, if you're making a good amount of profit, if you're keeping your customers happy, then I think you're in a good place.
Yes.
You are far, far better than, a majority of the world's population, 99% of the world's population.
Yeah.
Right? Then the numbers are vanity metrics, right? No amount. If you hit $1 billion, are you going to be happy with the billion? No, you're going to say, I want the next 10. And 10, are you going to be happy with that? No.
Humans
are not going to be happy,
Yes.
Yeah.
right? So there's this anecdote that I have from a friend of mine who had a series of meetings in the Bay Area, and he ended up meeting people for some reason that in progressively increasing levels of wealth. So the first people he met were around about 10 million net worth, and then the next was about 100 million, and the third round was like $1 billion plus. And everyone was dissatisfied with their life. So this 10 million net worth guy, he had a beautiful house, he had a phenomenally good couple of cars. All he could think was, oh my God, that guy, he has a yacht, right? And I don't have one.
Yeah.
Or he flies private all the time, and I'm just flying business. Right? Okay. Then the next meetings he goes to the guy with 100 million range of net worth. Yeah, he has a yacht, but he's got a 500-foot yacht, man. Mine is like just a tiny boat. I charter my private plane. He has his own plane. Okay. I go to the next guy, then he's thinking about what Musk is doing, or what Bill Gates, or Ellison, or people. So it's never going to be enough. Right? That doesn't mean you shouldn't have ambition or you shouldn't try to acquire, create wealth. Right? That's not what I'm trying to say at all. It's not. But all I'm trying to say is, are you doing it for the right reasons? Are you creating value along the way? And as long as you're doing that, I think it's important for you to feel satisfied at every step of the way.
Right.
Yeah.
Not just burn yourself out looking at this distant future or this massive goal that you set for yourself. It is important. It keeps you guided. It keeps you focused. But then it is also important that you stay satisfied at every single step that you take along the way, so that life is more rewarding and purposeful, rather than just being obsessed by that number that you want to hit. And all of us want to hit the numbers. We want everybody to hit the goals, but also be happy along the way.
Yeah. So going to the first question, Quadra. How did Quadra happen?
So it was tech,
Yes.
right?
You're fascinated by technology. Want to do
fascinated by
something,
technology. We had to do something in technology, and there we go. And then what did we, so the first thing that we did is the opportunity that we realized was, there is a software. I don't know if any of you know this. This is a software called SPSS.
No.
I'm sure you're not heard of
No.
it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I've dated all of you. So SPSS stands for Statistical Package for Social Sciences.
Okay.
Not a mouthful. Okay, and what does it do? It is the OG AI product, right?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because that is a tool for statistical analysis.
And how long ago was this? Sorry.
Hey, this is one of the oldest software products ever. So it's like 60s, 70s type.
Oh, wow. Okay.
70s.
70s.
Yeah, 70s. It was later acquired by IBM. It still exists as a product. You can look it up, right?
It's
part of
alive?
IBM. Yeah, it's alive. It's part of IBM. But that's the OG, data sciences and analytics, much before all this became fashion, right? So, I mean, it looks like Excel, just to give you it looks like Excel, the rows and columns, and then you can write code and you can perform a lot of statistical analysis. No, we use this in our MBA projects, for our various projects that we did, marketing and our final year projects. Do you realize that we didn't have, the latest version in college? When we got out, we realized this is a phenomenally useful tool. How do we, capitalize on this opportunity? But not everybody seems to know about it. Not everybody has access to this.
Yeah.
So we looked up this company, and it turns out that they had an office in Bangalore. So we called that guy. I remember his name. I don't know if he's watching this podcast, Maqsood Khan. We call him, and he picks up and he says, we want to sell your product. He says,
That was your outright pitch.
Yeah, straight.
Okay.
Outright. Yeah. We find it really useful. We know how to use this product. We are really big fans of this product, and we are good at using this product. And he says, okay, so what's your company? Can you send me a balance sheet? What's your track record? And what are all those things? I vaguely remember, subjects in MBA, but I wasn't too good at all those things. I have none of those. We have none of those things. And he says, you don't have a company? You don't have balance sheet? what balance sheet, right? So, but for some reason, I think he thought, and the only thing was, he said, look, we studied in PSG Tech, and that rang a bell for him.
Okay.
Right, and then okay, maybe these guys have something. Let me just humor them. And he said, okay, you guys, why don't you go and meet customers and bring me inquiries, right, and show me what you can do. Then we'll take it from there. He probably thought, okay, couple of eager young kids, wanting to do something, and let me just politely think. We didn't stop there. We went around. We got so many inquiries, so many opportunities for him that's like far more than he had ever imagined.
Okay.
And that was.
So you went and spoke to customers.
We went and spoke to customers.
How many people did you speak to?
We spoke to all the universities and colleges in the region.
Right.
Yeah. So I had the privilege of going back to my, to PSEIM and then doing a presentation on this product to my own professors, right? So that I think got us started, and we started there. So we did not borrow. We were again the bootstrapped before we knew what bootstrap was.
Yeah.
We didn't borrow any money from parents. Whatever profits came from a first deal, we were profitable from day one. First transaction, we were profitable. Because we didn't know a concept of go chase growth and then make profit later. I mean, it is alien to us. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, and that's a new construct. Those days, I mean, anything you do, you need to make a profit. So whatever profit we earned, we plowed back into the business. We did not take money out of the business. We plowed it back into the business. So that kept our capital increasing. That gave us, ability to hire people. That gave us ability to, invest in, things, pour money into expansion of the business, and that is how one thing led to the other. So the second most consequential meeting was we ended up meeting folks from Microsoft.
Okay.
So Microsoft didn't even have an office in Coimbatore. I mean, they had an office in Chennai. That was a very small office, satellite, few people. So they were actually in Coimbatore for some meetings. Then through a mutual friend, they wanted to meet potential partners whom they could work with. Somebody connected us. We had nothing to offer. Again, it's just a conversation. We just sat down on a table like this. We had a conversation. I think something, struck. I mean, both sides. I mean, we felt that this is a great company for us to work with. Yeah. They felt that we were probably somebody they could leverage. And one thing led to the other, and Quadra was born.
Very interesting. So it's more of a serendipity story.
Yeah, as it is everywhere. Yes.
One thing that I want to touch upon. So I think another thing that we were talking about when we tried finding things about you on the internet is it's very unlikely or rare for people to actually start up right out of doing an MBA or any degree for that matter, and doing that back in the day is still to date like a very novel concept and requires a lot of courage and so on. What led you to from what we heard, I think it was a natural step that happened, but still investing or like putting money into the business is it requires a lot of guts, in my opinion. And how did you do it? How did you get yourself to also do it?
I don't know if you want to call it foolhardiness or being gutsy. Right? We'll play on the side of gutsy. Right? But I think again it boils down to my parents being you go do what you have to do. There's no pressure, right? It's not like we expect you go land a job or do something or earn X or earn Y. Nothing. If we give you the space, we give you the time, and you go do what you have to do. So there's no thing like I got to go there and I have to answer my relations or I got to tell people what you're doing. Absolutely no pressure. So when you're in an environment where there's no pressure, then I think you do your best. So that I think was the most important.
You didn't need capital to start.
We did not get any capital from so we created our own capital.
Okay.
Very different story as to how things are today, but I think
no, if you can call it capital, the only capital we had was maybe in terms of assets. So I had my home computer and the printer my dad got me. I had a car that my dad got me. So that is our office. That's all. So we would just go, get into the car, morning to evening we'll be on the road, meet up customers, do meetings. We'll come back. We'll travel like 3-4 cities. We'll go from Coimbatore to Salem. From Salem, we'll go to Trichy. From Trichy, then we'll drive back to Coimbatore, reach late in the night. On the way, we'll just grab food somewhere. The next day, start going somewhere, and then we'll come down and whatever stuff we had to print out for customers. Go back to the home computer. There's one chair and one desk. So one guy sits down. If I sit down, then Nagaraj is standing behind me. We type in something, we take a printout, or maybe a quotation or an invoice, and then we run the next day. So that's how. So for a very long time, we had just had one table in the office. So one of us could sit down, right?
Sounds
The other
great.
person had to stand.
Yes.
And we had one computer.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was yours.
That is. But no, then in office we bought our first laptop.
Okay.
I mean, more than the latest iPhone gadgets all combined together in a basket could deliver. That is the feeling that we had. Yeah.
When I and Santosh were discussing, we realized you started up right after college. We thought, okay, might be you could be from a business family already, from an affluent family, or your parents gave you capital to start up. But then we realized both of our parents started without coming from an affluent family. And then, okay, what was in your case? With what we understand, your dad didn't support you. You didn't want to take support from your dad. You did it on your own. Today, is that possible?
Yeah, very much. So, see, I think it is not that we didn't want to take support. The support we wanted was not material support. It was moral support. No, that was the support that we needed. It was belief. And that belief they gave us, that moral support they gave us. And I think that's far more valuable than giving you a few lakhs or whatever, right? Because that can be erased in a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
This doesn't. And I wouldn't, so my only message would be, is to trust your children. My daughter is now in third year of law school. So I would only say trust them and give them the space, right? And obviously there is this massive instinct on every parent to make sure that their children are doing the best possible, not to make the mistakes that they made. So there is this bit of hovering around, helicoptering around, and telling them do this, do that, don't do this, do that. I mean, I do that all the time as well. But I also have to try curb those instincts constantly, so that we give them the space,
right?
And then I think they will blossom. So I think that's all that is required. It's not about capital. In fact, not having capital is good.
Correct.
Because when you are in constrained situations, you do better.
We will be very mindful of our decisions.
You'll be very mindful. So even if you forget about capital for a second, if you look at the best literature, the best poetry, the best paintings, all of them came from people in countries and in times where they had the greatest duress.
Correct. Yeah.
The greatest wars or difficulties or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's when the best thing. It didn't come from a period where Switzerland was in amazing peace and plenty, full, abundant resources. You don't get great literature at that time. You don't get great paintings at that time. You get it, when there is things. So I think the human mind needs constraints, needs some stress and strain in a good amount, in a good proportion.
Right. Right.
And then that's when I think we do our best.
Okay.
So if you're given too much of anything, then I think it's not a good thing to have.
Right. So it's been 25 years of Quadra, right?
Yes,
How big is Quadra today?
We put 350 people.
Okay. I think this is your time to boast about your 25 years. So your 350 people spread across how many cities?
We're there in Coimbatore, Chennai, Bangalore, Mumbai, Hyderabad, Kochi, Pune,
Okay.
and Delhi soon.
Okay. 7 cities and counting.
Growing,
Solving problems for customers across how many countries?
So our primary business is focused on India.
Oh, nice. Okay.
We do have customers outside, but
Okay.
our primary business is, we are very focused on solving.
Okay.
But we have, expansion plans coming up to the Middle East and to Southeast Asia.
Right. So it's 90% of the revenues from India or more than
most
that?
of it.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this is also relevant to, again, what's happening with the world right now and how Quadra has grown. Maybe first we want to hear from you on, you started with one system and probably shared, it sounded actually great because you had your own time, you had your controls. Would love to hear on how Quadra grew over the years. What are some things that shaped up the company and where is Quadra now? And I have a follow-up to that as well. Yeah.
Sure. So I think some things that shaped our journey are one, we learned, we had amazing support from our earliest customers. So they really put us through our paces, and that's another reason to be thankful to Coimbatore for.
Yeah.
And the second thing I would say is we also learned very on from the leaders in the business here on how important it is to do the right thing always. Now, doing the right thing always comes at a cost, at a short-term cost, but a massive long-term benefit.
Yeah.
But then it requires conviction to bear that short-term cost So in expectation, no, I wouldn't say in expectation, so that you actually realize the long term benefit. So there were chances, or there were times when we could have always taken the short route. We could have done more profit than what we actually did. But we chose the right things to do. We chose the long term things to do.
Yeah.
Because that, I think, gave us trust from our customers, right? So and that, I think, is the biggest. So more than I think employees, or revenue, or offices, and stuff that you can buy and touch and feel. I think it is the trust of our customers. That is our biggest asset, right? The trust of our customers and the trust of our people. That is, they are in a good place, and we'll take care of them. And there are customers, if they work with us, we will take care of their technology transformation needs, and we will architect their ambition. I think that trust, I think, is intangible, invaluable as well. So that, I think, is the biggest learning that we had along the way. Technology trends have obviously changed, right? I mean, from the time we started in the industry to now, we didn't have, those are the days of the earliest mobile phones, Nokia 5110s, the flip phones, and then Apple iPhone came so much later in the journey. So, but the customer needs didn't change, as I mentioned earlier. Their business needs are the same, but the urgency could change, or the tools that are available to solve those problems could change. But then I think the fundamentals are still are rock solid. So keeping those in mind helped us to be grounded. Right. Just because a new piece of technology came out doesn't mean that we change our value systems, that we change what we stand for, that we change what we are supposed to do in a business. No, that doesn't. Yeah. So that was always a constant. Our values don't change. Our cultures doesn't change. Our attitudes to work don't change. To our people, to our customers, nothing changes. And that, I think, is the constancy that gave us the strength to tide over all these technology changes, to tide over these ups and downs. Yeah. You lose customers. Very early, we lost one of our biggest customers who was contributing a very sizable chunk of our revenue. Right, and then we thought, what are we going to do? We're here, and then we're just going to crash down. But what did it teach us? It taught us that you need to be resilient. You need to not put all your eggs in one basket. And that you need to diversify into a lot more, revenue sources and areas. So the learning was good. The loss was painful, but the learnings were really beneficial, and they helped us to, not look back and not repeat. Mistakes happen. Right. Mistakes will happen. You will do that, and if you're not making mistakes, then you're not being bold enough, right? Yeah. So, but then it's important not to repeat mistakes, right? At least not more than twice. Yeah. So that, I think, is one lesson that we have to. So the tools that we used are changed beyond recognition. I mean, if somebody told me that this is what we would be accessing in today's day and era, at the time I started, I would have said, I mean, you crazy? What are you talking about? That you can create a computer creates an image of you which talks like you, which walks like you. And, how do you, and you can just say something to a phone and it will create an image that you want. Yeah. How is that? It's magic. No, that's the same. No, technology that is sufficiently advanced is indistinguishable from magic. No, that's what it would have seen those days to us. But constancy is important. No, right. You don't forget what you're trying to do. That doesn't change. So that's grounding. I think that was important for us.
So another curious question is, what's the tool that fascinates you the most then?
The tool, technology?
Yeah, something that is probably like you're still spellbound or surprised by.
I mean, it's hard to say, no? Because I like to tinker with things, no? So it's, I'm like a kid in a toy shop.
Toy store, yeah.
I play with this and then I'm lost interest and I want to go to the next. But then if you say, I want to take it the first time, no, I want that also. Don't take it away. It's like this, if I not touch a toy for 2 days, but you touch, somebody else touches it, no, I want that right now. So I'm that kid. So, I mean, I don't think I can say there's a favorite tool, because that changes, right? If an iPhone was a phenomenal device then, it is something else today. So, but what is my favorite? Technology is absolutely my favorite. Right? The fact that we're blessed, I always tell myself we're blessed to be in an industry where we are at the forefront of change, where we see things before they affect other industries. and we have the opportunity to take this massive change or this massive wave of innovation that's coming out and then use it to actually do good for our customers. So that I think is a phenomenal place to be in, and that for that we are thankful every single day. And I think that's the biggest blessing, or that's the coolest thing I would say about our business. So with the advent of AI and other things over the last 3-4 years, I don't think I worked as hard as I have that I'm doing now.
To ramp up and
Yeah, because it is you can do so many things. I mean, the only thing that prevents you or that can constrain you is your ability to dream or imagine,
yeah.
or your curiosity. So that as long as you're curious, as long as you have the ability to dream and imagine something is possible today, that is possible thanks to technology. So technology, I would say, I mean, I know that's a little boring answer to what you thought would be one cool toy, but that's how it is, right? That's industry, right? So I wouldn't say there is one single tool that is ever made the difference. It's if it is X today, it is Y tomorrow, something else the day after. Technology, I would say, is the most impactful thing that's ever happened to mankind. Yeah.
Right. So today, do you think there's an opportunity for someone to come and start another company like Quadra? I believe in this concept called pie theory. Let's say there's this pie. Tomorrow someone, and we'll assume this is a market. Tomorrow, let's say someone new comes in and starts something new. They don't necessarily take a small chunk of the pie. They expand the size of the pie. I believe in that. Do you think there's an opportunity for someone to start a company like Quadra today? And
very much. Why not? Why not? And the pie theory, I also feel the best validation of your business model is the fact that there are competitors who want to do the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So that's good. So that's always good, and it actually makes your job easier because then more people are doing the same thing. So the market awareness, knowledge, everybody's doing the selling, and then you just have to be the best among the rest to get the business. So that's good. It's good to have more people in the same field. It expands the entire industry. It is absolutely great to have. There's nothing bad about competition. It's good. It keeps everyone focused. And end of the day, the customer benefits. So that's the best thing. Now, can somebody start a company? Of course they can. The avenues to start a company today. Today, you don't even need a team. You just spin up, a Claude Pro subscription. Or you want to take a ChatGPT, Pro subscription, $200 a month, and then you have all the coders availability disposal. So what's preventing you from doing anything that you want? So the constraints are far and few today. At least earlier you had constraints. Today I don't think there are any constraints. You're only limited by your curiosity. You're only limited by your imagination. You're only limited by the scope of your ambition. Nothing else is going to constrain you. So you are in the best place ever if you want to start a business.
Right. The reason I asked, because earlier when you started, a lot of companies were outsourcing their infrastructure and architecture to companies outside, right? Today, most companies want it in-house. Every company is trying to be a technology company. They want to have their native products and build it in-house. In an era like this, do you think there's still an opportunity? I want to answer from their lens, from the customer's lens. Today, if tomorrow, let's say, start a company like Quadra, can I go and sell it to large enterprises in India who still need my service?
Right. Let me put it in the other. Again, I'll go with my example.
Yes.
20, 30 years back, how many restaurants do you have in Coimbatore?
Very
simple to choose where you want to go for dinner.
Yeah.
Is A or B?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Today, it's more difficult.
Yes.
And if you go back to your city, Bangalore, you'll have to spend half an hour researching on what you want to eat.
Yeah.
Right?
In today's age, it's just like insanely difficult to
Correct.
pick
So
a
many
restaurant.
choices,
Yeah, so
so
many
much of
choices.
complexity,
Yeah.
location, cuisine, choice of your group, your friends. And once you go there, what do you want to
The
eat?
menu in itself is
That's right.
yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense. That
I've
makes
answered my
sense.
question.
Yeah.
Right?
That answers.
So much more that you can do. So this is actually increased opportunity, the surface area for us, right? Because there's so much of technology everywhere. So technology has moved from being an enabler to actually being the tip of the spear for any business. So that means we are so much more. We are the proverbial, Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet in front of the ship, right? We can see stuff before.
Yeah.
So you are placed in a far more strategic position than where when you were before. You were somewhere in the boiler room trying to make that engine run a bit smoother. But today you're right at the front. You're there with the captain. You're there holding the steering, and you're helping businesses navigate. So the opportunities are far more.
Right.
Because every company wants to now use technology not to get things done better, smoother, faster, but actually to shape the future of their business.
Right.
So that means your play is so much more.
Okay.
So it is great news, and I would love for nothing more than this trend to keep continuing.
Okay.
Actually, one thing that I wanted to talk about is you spoke about customers. On the other hand, wanted to also talk about your own firm, your employees, and the culture that you have had. And oftentimes, technology services is looked at as a body shopping service, and often people are thrown at problems. And we've also heard that you've had almost 15-20 employees who've stuck with you from the very beginning of your journey and have stayed up until now. So what makes Quadra different there? And would love to hear from you on what do you do differently when it comes to culture, employees, etc.
Yeah. So I think there's no point in having a fancy, culture that's written on a beautifully printed book or a phenomenally well-designed website.
Yeah.
I think it lies in what you practice
Exactly.
and what you do, day in and day out. Do you live what you, preach? Do you, or the principles that you talk on? That is most important. So I think that is one thing they're doing. So we've not been doing the glamorous stuff. So we don't have the fanciest careers page. We don't have the fanciest corporate culture page. I don't even think we have a corporate culture page. But that is what we do day in. And so when you say you treat your employees well and you take care of your employees, then you actually do that. You practice that every single day. You stand up for them when things are down.
Correct.
You back them up and you stay. There are so many of our employees where we have stayed through the darkest times, right? So it wasn't an empty statement saying that we will, we'll take care of you, and we will stay. I think, and we did that without an expectation that something will come back to us. No, we did that because that was the right thing to do, and not because we wanted to do something, with some expectation of something else in return. And I think that's when, and people can see through it, right?
Right.
People can know if you're really doing what you're doing or you're not. And ours is a business where the quality of the computers, just because you bought a computer with more RAM or a better CPU doesn't change the work you do.
Yeah.
It's the people behind the keyboards, the screens that actually get the work done. It's not the quality of our furniture or the interiors or the fancy offices that we have built is not going to change anything. If the people are happy and satisfied, happy employees make for happy customers.
Yeah.
So that's a very simple equation. So if my people are happy, they will keep my customers happy. And then I think there's no other complex. There's no need to write 300 pages about what to
Culture.
do.
Yeah.
It's more about writing one page about what you will do. Every single day. So we literally practice that in every step of our journey. And we also, one other thing also we felt is it's important to lead by example.
Yeah.
So when at one point in time we were actually selling VSAT dishes. I don't know if you know. No, okay. That was the original Starlink.
Okay.
Right. So the internet connection was delivered through a satellite. It looked like I don't know if you see those antennas today in some houses. Have you seen those metal antennas?
Yeah, we do see.
You have seen it, right?
Yes.
The Tata Sky ones. So the bigger ones you had, the
Yeah.
really bigger ones. That's how you used to watch TV at one point in time. And cable operators had this, and then they piped it to your home.
Yeah.
So that is the same. I mean, not the same technology, but it looked like that. And that is how you used to get internet connection to remote places, because it is not the world of today where you have broadband available with 3 choices of broadband wherever you go.
Yeah.
And that was give you the royal, amazing, phenomenal speed of 64 kbps. Or if you're really rich, you used to get 128 kbps. And I don't know if you can even count that. It's like compared to the MBs that we are all used to today. But to deliver that, we had to give those satellite dishes. And that's something we did for a very short period of time. But when a customer had a problem with that and it went down, both me and Nagaraj literally ran, wearing a t-shirts and shorts to help the customer out. 2 things. One is, if the customer's got a problem, we show up no matter what. 2, we also tell our people that, look, we will lead by example. We're not telling you, hey, forget your weekend, go and do something. If I am ready to sacrifice my weekend, if I'm ready to sacrifice my personal time, then I'm showing the company culture as it has to be lived.
Right.
And not saying that, did you look at the employee code of conduct or the guidebook, the culture says we need to do these things. While I'm enjoying my movie, can you please go and look after that customer? That's not the way we do it. So and then you don't tell your employee, they learn from you and then they do that rather than the other way around, right? People like to learn that way.
I think I'm still fascinated by what you told, because I never really thought, leading by example is for sure a key quality that you must have as someone who's leading. But being in a system or being in a corporate structure, often like you don't look at these things from a broader lens. Like you're confined to your role, just do what you're told to, and then maybe take your weekend off. But I think what you said also then reminds me of how a lot of companies today don't practice what they preach. It often trickles down. If you do it at the topmost level, it automatically trickles down to the bottommost. So I think great to hear from you on that. For some reason, I think it's very introspective for me. Yeah.
Thank you. No, and the other thing is in a world of ChatGPT, I think everybody's got fancy statements today. Everybody's got a vision and the culture statement. So it becomes even more I think flimsy today. So you have to really live that. And also, going back to your point on how do you back your employee. So there's this anecdote where we had one of our team members who did a mistake and ended up doing some catastrophic, creating some catastrophic downtime for our customer. So we called up and said, look, this happened. Everything is down. So all I told him was, doesn't matter. How long do you need to fix it? He said, 4 hours, I guess. Okay, if that's the case, 4 hours, I will take the heat from the customer. I will go to tell the customer, we messed up, I'm sorry, and I'm here to bear all the punches that you have. But I will leave you in peace to go solve the problem. Fix the problem, and he fixed it in less than 4 hours, and that customer was happy. Yeah, we made a mistake, but everybody makes mistakes. What is important is how you react to those mistakes. Correct. Are you trying to hide the fact that, no, nothing happened, I don't have anything to do with it, we didn't have anything to do with it. You stand up and own the fact. I'm sorry, we made a mistake, but we'll fix it for you. And this is what we need to do to fix it. This is how fast we'll fix it for you. And then deliver on that commitment. I think it keeps the employees. So now then employees don't forget that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't scream at him at all. I don't say anything. And then for me, the important thing is, the only thing I tell him is, now you're managing a team, I just want you to do the same thing for your juniors as well. I do not want anything else. When you as you build your team, remember these lessons and do the same, and so that we are able to carry this culture forward. So that's how I think it gets passed down. Like storytelling from the olden ages. You just pass it down, and then it becomes part of the corporate lore or folklore.
Yes. Another thing is that the first time I know Prashanth is through Maha. He gave me a warm intro to him. I met him in his office. I was showing our product to him. That was the time when Cloud Code was released. It was like 2-3 weeks that it was released, and my engineers were playing around with it. During the 30-40 minutes that we are talking, Prashanth already mentioned it about Cloud Code 3-4 times. I was really amazed because he was on the edge of trends and technology. He was constantly being updated about what's new in the market. Yeah. Is it something that you do it for work, or you're forced to do it for work, or is something that, hey, what's next in technology? I want to be relevant on the latest trends. Why do you do that?
I do it because I love it.
Most people, they start a business, the business starts generating money. They lose relevancy of what's happening in the current world because somewhere else they are getting generating money, and they do a lot of times they lose relevancy. But I didn't see that from you. Why?
No, so it's not about if you're forced to do something, there's only so much time that it lasts. So if you really enjoy what you're doing, and if you're really happy about coming into work on a Monday morning, and then with the excitement that what am I going to do this week, and as long as you can retain that excitement in you, then I think business is always there. And as long as you can also inculcate that same thing in your employees, then I think we have a good, we should be in a good space. So the only way this can happen is not because I have to do that for work or for a living. Yeah, I mean that is not the objective. That is one of the side outcomes, right? If you do what you like, you do it well enough, then all the other things actually come, right? I mean, there's people who say, don't chase money, do the right things and money will come. No, it's similar to that, I guess. You like technology, you genuinely believe it has a power to change how people and companies can work, and therefore you want to immerse yourself into it and then figure out what is the latest and what can I take. So in the morning, I think the team will always have a barrage of email and Teams chats for me. You work on this, you work on that, you do this, you do that. I read up on various things and then I send it out to various team members, try it out, see how it will work in this customer scenario, do this for this customer, and then they report back to me by the end of the day or the next day, depending on what the task is.
Right.
I think that keeps us on our feet. That keeps us agile, and then that also I think we are not playing it with technology for as a toy. I want to connect what this does to what my customers' pain points are, and if that connection works well enough, then I think we have a genuine benefit that we can deliver for our customers.
Right.
Touching upon something that you were talking about earlier, which is taking the right decisions, right? And if there's a crisis, you then step in, and you'd even did it over the weekend for your customers. Did you learn decision making from someone that you looked up to, or how do you come up to decisions in like scenarios of crisis, or what led you to, like, I'm sure it's also practice over like years and it took you time as well, but I would love to hear from you on your decision making and things that might help people also in general.
Yeah. So I don't think there is one place where we, I think we need to be like a sponge, kind of soak up everything on the way as you go.
Yeah.
There is, and we learned from our customers, from our competitors, from our employees, from people around us. I'm definitely learning a lot of things from both of you this conversation. So I think it's important that you learn to be open-minded and receptive to what others are saying and doing. It's not about whether you like it or not, but I think it's important that you appreciate their point of view and then look at it for what it is rather than applying your lens of judgment to I like it, I don't like it, or this is good, this is bad.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. The second thing is, when it comes to decision making, I feel again I'll give you an anecdote. What always I bear in my mind when it comes to how do you frame your decisions?
Yeah.
So I'm sure you've heard of Southwest Airlines in the US. It is one of the think of it like an Indigo.
Yeah.
Not in the current context. Not a good example, but a low cost, very well run airline.
Yeah.
So the CEO is a very legendary person, Herb Keller, the founder CEO. So they were doing really well. They were very, very profitable.
Yeah.
And they had this constant customer feedback, which said that every year their annual customer feedback forms, can you serve meals on board? Now, this company was doing well. They were doing really well. And they had the money or the resources to actually go ahead and meet that customer request. So all the senior managers, management comes up to the CEO and says, look, we have the money, we have the resources. This is a constant feedback from all our customers. Instead of peanuts and Diet Coke, we have to offer them a meal. So it's not going to hurt a bottom line. Here are the mathematics, here are the financials. I'm paraphrasing a lot of this, but no, you get the gist of the story. So that's, I think, was one thing. So now, how does the CEO make a decision now in this frame, right? Okay, is there a pertinent, real demand from a customer? Yes. Do you have the money and resources to actually do it without breaking the bank? Yes. So what would you want to do? Yes or no?
Probably
Yes,
yes.
take the plunge.
Yes.
All right. So here's what Herb Keller did. He said no.
Oh.
Why? Because you have to frame a decision in the context, right? So what is Southwest Airlines? We are a low-cost airline. We want to be the best low-cost airline. Therefore, does a low-cost airline serve food?
No.
Does it fit into the model of a low-cost airline? No. If our objective is to be the best low-cost airline, then we don't serve food no matter what the demand is. We get better at what we are supposed to be doing, not lose focus and direction. So that, I think, is important. So decisions, it's very, more than looking at an isolated decision, context is important. What is the context in which you're taking a decision? And if that context is well understood, then you go, if I just go back to Tarun techie, world, what's so important today? It is not, the biggest thing today is context engineering.
Correct.
Why does AI fail? AI fails because they don't have this right context. Just before coming, I was reading a tweet from Aaron Levy, who's the CEO of Box, and he was writing about. I think this is just a few hours old. So he was saying when agents or AI is like this incredibly smart person who can be a scientist,
Yeah.
in a pharma company, who can be the best doctor at say Mayo. He could be the best coding, best developer at at a software company or whatever role that you want it to be. It can do this beautifully well. Now the challenge is it's got a limited memory. It can do all these roles. So that's where the spiky, jagged intelligence term comes in. No? But for it to do a role really well, it needs to be taught about the context. So you suddenly take me from being, a developer, on a project to being a doctor. So what is it that I need as AI? I need context.
Correct.
So if you're engineering the right context around an AI agent, then the AI agent will succeed.
Yeah.
I think that also applies to decision making, right? So are you
Context.
going to take the right? Are you absorbing the right context? And then I think you will automatically get the answer for what is the decision you need to take. And this anecdote has always stuck with me. And whenever I have to take a difficult decision, I think play this mentally in my mind. Then I think, now what decision do I take? How do I take that decision?
Yeah.
And the decision could be right today. You could 5 years later you could say it's wrong. But you never look back. Did you take the right decision with the information available at that point in time? Great. Right? Do not go revisit an old decision and then say, if I had done this and I had done that. I think that's not the way I would want to look at it.
But I think great to hear from you on this, because I think it's a critical skill that a lot of people overlook easily in their careers. But I probably read up a bit more on what this whole case study was also.
See, I think today you, me, or anyone else in the room have the same access to knowledge books, right? If that is being equal, that is a common denominator. I think judgment is the most important skill. That is what will separate you, me, and anyone else, right? How good are you a decision maker? That will what make differentiate who's a good CEO and who's a not good CEO. I think that is something I'm trying to learn today. I'm finding it very hard to learn it from books. It's much easier to learn from doing a lot of mistakes and doing a lot of experiments and learn from that.
Right.
Whatever that you said, I can easily resonate with what I'm doing in my day-to-day work.
Right.
Okay.
I'll just add one more thing. You
Yes.
should add intent to it. It's not just
Correct.
judgment. Intent.
Intent
What's
matters.
your- intent matters. Intent matters, and then curiosity as well.
Yeah.
You have to be eternally, perpetually curious.
Curious. I fully I think if I were to attribute my personal growth, I think it's because of curiosity. It's figuring out what JE was at probably like 6th or 7th grade and then wanting to study for it. My parents were liberal as well. They said, do whatever you want, don't bother us.
Yeah.
So,
No, you have to be curious about everything, right? I mean,
yeah.
I look at this microphone and think, okay, my God, how does this microphone work? What technology does it use? I'll go read up on it.
Yeah.
So when I'm driving in the car, I'll have one of these AI apps on voice mode. I'll go around. I'll do crazy things. I'll see a temple on the roadside, and I'll see this temple. What is the history of this temple? What when was it built? I mean, it is just. I just have to keep doing this,
Thinking.
and I know my wife thinks I'm mad most of the time. My daughter definitely agrees. But I think that is how I am wired. So I have to keep reading something. I have to keep, if I see something, I have to figure out how it works, and I can't rest until that happens.
Yeah.
So
The problem with a genius is you have to tolerate their madness too.
I don't know about the genius, but I'm sure about the mad.
The madness
Genius
part comes with
is a
it.
big question.
Yeah.
Mad tick, green tick, for sure. Because when I was a kid, I used to, my dad used to get these, again, he was an indulgent dad, right? He used to get me all these nice toys. Those days, those motor-powered, battery-powered toys, which are like,
Yes,
the Ferraris
yeah,
of those
yeah.
days. It's not for me about switching it and letting the train run on the track. No.
Dismantle it.
I have to dismantle it. Dismantle to the level where I need to I could completely take apart the DC motor. I could interchange parts. I could figure out, how it works. Everything long before we learned all that thing. But when I learned these concepts, that's what the thing did. Not that I understood the concept. I just knew that if you did this would happen.
Yeah.
But I didn't understand why. But I just knew from things. So I learned petrol and oil and water are immiscible. So what would you do with that information? Afternoon, week, Saturday or Sunday, I guess, one of those days at home. Go to my dad's bike. Those bikes have carburetors and things. So you pull the hose, take a bit of petrol, go to a bucket, I pour it on top. petrol floats on top, doesn't mix with water. The book is right. But then that is not all. Does it still burn? Let's figure it out.
Oh my God.
Set fire to the whole thing. Then boom, the whole area in the bucket is blackened, right? And then I like scoot from that place. Then my mother comes and wakes up in the evening and she says, "Why is the bucket black? Black bucket? I have nothing to do with it."
You are a single child?
No, I had a brother. I have a
Okay.
younger brother. Or it could be the. We learned about electric furnaces. You use electricity to melt, to create heat. Okay, I have to figure this out. So I take a razor blade.
That's not.
I know. It's a miracle I'm alive, right? Because after doing this
So
and many
many
other things,
experience,
Yeah.
so plug it in straight, right? I did manage to melt the razor blade a teeny bit before the whole house fuse blew, right? And then my mother comes over thinking, why did the power go? I think must be a power
Did
cut.
the power go?
Must be a power cut. Then they discovered later on that we were the only house in the area which didn't have power. Everybody else had power. And then, okay, my son is up to something. What did you do? Then they discovered the switch was also black.
Right.
I couldn't hide that.
When you meant madness, I thought maybe you were just like curious, always overthinking things, but
No, literally.
this is quite literally.
Literally, yes.
Kids used to go break their hands, legs, but this is very different.
Very different.
Yeah.
Very different. I was living on the edge.
Brings me to something that we also wanted to check with you is what was the most stupidest thing or biggest blunder that you'd made? Probably even lost a lot of money in your life, stocks or something that probably you want to share.
Yeah.
Public private market investing, crypto investing, something like
So
that.
strangely, for all the stuff that I did as a kid, then I think so. My founder keeps me grounded, right? So we are like yin and yang. I mean, if I am like, let's go do it and let's go try this out, and
Yeah.
this is new. I don't know what's going to happen, but we're just going to plug it in, right? That's it. That's my thing. I'm like, it might burst. That's fine. How
We'll
much
learn
of a
from
noise
it.
is it going to make? Is it loud or really loud? That's all I'm curious about, right? But then he's this ultra careful, safe. So I
Sane
think between
person.
us, sane person who like, okay, careful. Let's not go there. Be careful. So that way, I think we managed not to lose money in doing anything crazy like that. So that way, strangely, I thought I should have done a lot of that, but somehow, touch wood,
Quite
we haven't.
balanced,
Yeah, maybe I haven't had the opportunity to do it well enough. I'll try it.
Right.
Maybe once you take your retirement and then.
Yeah, I'm sure I will. I am sure I will try all these things.
Who knows? Maybe that's the genius of your. Could be the genius also.
I know there's no genius to this. It's just madness. Because I've done this even as an adult, so I don't want to go there because people might identify me for what happened to them. So let's not go there. Yeah.
Right. So, do you invest actively? Are you investing actively?
I wouldn't call myself an active investor. Passive investment,
Okay.
Mutual funds and
Okay.
stuff like that. Yeah, not an active.
Okay.
Not active in the stock market.
Okay. Right. So, of all your, let's say, 100% of it, most of it's in Quadra. It's.
You mean how? No, we diversify.
Oh, you diversify, yeah.
We diversify. Yes.
Okay. Right. Makes sense.
I think it's important to do that.
Okay, cool. I saw like the first time that we met was through a CAA event
That's
that
right.
happened in I think it was in
Residency?
Residency, yes. You are actively part of CAA, TIE Coimbatore. What's the story behind this? Were you inspired looking at someone else and then you were part of it, or someone invited you to be part of this? What is the motive behind being part of these groups?
No, so if I said this earlier, right? I mean, on decision making, it's about taking the right folks in the room. It's about trying to give back a little more than what you took from the environmental society. So I think that's also a part of being in these associations. Things that you learn, things that you acquired. How do you also contribute a little back to the society? So one of the the most important things I did when I was chair for CIA was the Coimbatore Next Initiative.
Okay.
So what was that initiative all about? So as a city, Coimbatore has a very hoary past, entrepreneurial past. I mean, it's been standout, in several industries. But then I also feel that as a city, that have we kind of lost, a direction a bit. Are there cities which were at once upon a time equal to us? Say, Pune was a counterpart to Coimbatore at one point of time. Right, Ludhiana was a counterpart to Coimbatore at one point of time. But then these cities are now far ahead of what we are doing. Cochin was just like Coimbatore, a couple of decades back, but today you can't compare Coimbatore and Cochin.
Yeah.
So what's happening? So how do we then translate Coimbatore's potential, for what's coming in? So we identify three pillars: growth, visibility, and advocacy. This is what defines, or this is how we wanted to put Coimbatore Next into action.
Okay.
So growth was all about growth for our companies internally, growth for our for our city by getting new companies to come in, sunrise industries to come in, or partner with our existing industries. Visibility is how do you make our city more visible to decision makers? If they are looking at an investment destination, why shouldn't Coimbatore be at the top of the list?
Yeah.
Advocacy is you need to work with the government, you need to work with the people in power, the people who matter to make sure that we are getting the right and most favorable policies into Coimbatore. Because one thing that struck me one day when I was delivering a talk and this was at PSG Tech in the auditorium. So this was organized by CMA, and obviously few hundred, I don't know, 1,000 or odd students in the audience, all of them had come to Coimbatore to study. So I just asked a simple question: can you show me, give me a show of hands, how many of you want to work for a Coimbatore company?
Yeah.
A very, very small handful of hands went up. So why is it that people come to Coimbatore to study, but they don't want to work for a Coimbatore company? And if you actually look at it, it all again boils down to how much of value addition happens in a typical Coimbatore company. The value addition is less. I mean, they're incredibly well-run businesses. That's not the point. The value addition is less, so the scope to pay your employees more is limited. So you will have an employee who's worked with a Coimbatore company for 30 years, but then he's going to come to the MD one day and say, "Sir, my son or daughter studied this, and he or she is going to work for this MNC or in India or abroad or whatever." It never that I also want him or her to work for the same company and do in the same company that I worked in. Doesn't happen. Why? Because the scope for value addition is less. And why does it happen? Because if you're just working on cost arbitrage, that's a race to the bottom.
Right.
Yeah.
So we need to then move higher up the value chain in terms of IP, in terms of value creation. The more value you create, then you are able to pay your people more, hire more people. So one of my biggest inspirations in this respect is Dr. Jairam Varadaraju, LG Equipments. I mean, the way he talks about pegging the CEO salary as a multiple of the lowest paid employee, right? So if you want your salary to go up, you figure out a way to pay, the lowest paid employee more. That's a way for your salary to go up, rather than being a disproportionate difference between the CEO salary and the lowest paid person's salary. And then you don't compete because of cost. You compete on value that you provide. The moment you compete on value that you provide, then cost plus pricing goes out of the equation. It is value-driven pricing, right? So that's one company. LG is one company that has gone, abroad, set up factories abroad, and it's competed on an equal footing with counterparts in those regions. So that I think is a way Coimbatore businesses have to go global, and there are so many more examples. I'm sure, like LG Equipments. I know you have so many more in Coimbatore, but then we can go on and on about that. So all this was the genesis for me to think about how Coimbatore Next has to evolve. And today, I mean, even last week we had, earlier this week rather, we had meetings. We want all the major industrial associations in Coimbatore, including CII, Codisia, SEMA, SAIMA, Congo Global Forum, all come together to unite under this Coimbatore Next framework. So how do we, as collectively as a city, again we talked about this earlier, work to make sure that our city shines in terms of economy, in terms of livability, because we want to do all this without compromising on livability, without compromising on the culture or the ethos that makes Coimbatore what it is. So how do we do all that? So that is thing. So that I think is an enduring. So usually once your term gets over, you hand over to the next chairman. But this I think is an initiative that we are running.
Right.
With me and Arjun, who was the chair before me, we are running this now, along with a group of phenomenal people, all leading lights and very, very concerned and well-known citizens of Coimbatore who are supporting us to get this running.
Right.
So that is that I think is important, right? The city which gave you your identity. You said Coimbatore Payan, right? If you say that proudly, it's also I think important on our side to contribute something back to Coimbatore that makes Coimbatore proud of you.
Yeah, definitely. It's a two-way street.
Yes,
the city gives something to me and I give it
You give
everything.
something back.
Yeah.
You give something back.
Right. So that's the reason you're part of all these forums and try to come up with new initiatives where we can uplift people, opportunities, bring opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, definitely yes. I mean, because what these forums give you is the capacity to act in ways that you can't do as an individual or as an enterprise.
Yeah.
So as CII or as TI or as any one of these organizations, you collectively represent, a much larger, share or a portion of the industry, economy, or people than you would if you are in your individual capacity or even in your company or corporate capacity.
Correct.
So I think that amplification is far more, right? So that I think is important to, and these platforms have to be utilized well so that you end up giving those benefits, and you end up creating a platform for those benefits for the city and for the people.
It's a vision that is echoed across multiple companies and not just envisioned by one individual. I mean, fully get it,
Yeah.
So these city-specific chapters, only the people in the city do get to choose the chair and people in the board. Is
I mean, that's a
difference.
I mean, let's not even go there and how. I mean, that's a long.
Okay, it's a very big.
Yeah, it's
process.
a long subject.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. Cool. I think you can close with this.
Okay, I'll close with
Yeah,
this.
you can ask this and then we'll do the closing.
Okay, so maybe the closing question is actually just me read it once. We were just closing on the autonomous AI part, and wanted to check. You were talking about the software factory bit, and
Yeah, so I think more than calling it a software, because I think today it's called software, and then we don't know what AI is going to do to software.
Yeah.
So I think the way we want to be known as, or the way we want to, is an outcomes factory. So no matter what the tool or the technology behind what we do, we still want to be delivering consistent, outcomes for our customers. We want to be enablers of their ambition. We want to be architects of their ambition. I think that's what we would like to do. So in the short term, will it involve using AI agents or working along with humans to get work done? Yes, I can certainly see that. We are already actively using that in various aspects of our business. Agents supplement what humans do. I mean, they cut down the mundane work so humans can focus more on the more value added work.
Yeah.
So that we're certainly doing, and I think that trend will increase to a point. But then, as with any new technology, once it reaches saturation point, everybody is running at the same level of efficiency, right? Then you move on to the next thing. So this is an exercise. No, this is like it's like running on a hamster wheel, right? It just keeps going on. So I think we cannot lose sight of the fact that outcomes matter end of the day. Our customers matter, and as long as we have visibility into that and we're delivering the right things, I'm sure the business should be in a safe place.
Great to hear. I think we've come to an end. Thanks, Prashanth. Thanks a lot for joining us. I think personally I've had a lot of learning from you and a lot to introspect as well. Tarun, maybe.
Yeah, for me, the most exciting part was the technology side of things. My learning curve was at a different level. It was great having you on the show. Thanks for doing this. I think someone who's watching this, they'll surely take the plunge of starting a company like Quadra, employ more people than you did, go to new geographies, and one day, someday they might quote, I saw someone, Prashanth, quoting this, and that inspired me to start something new. I think that's the goal of the entire conversation that we did. Yes. It was great having you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks
thank
a lot
you
for
so
Thank
much.
you, Tarun.
Thank you so much for
Santoshi.
joining.
It was a
Yeah.
very good conversation.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Thank
Anything else that you'd like to add beyond what we spoke?
No, I think it's just about keeping the chain going, right?
Yes,
I mean,
yeah.
someone helped us, someone mentored us, because of which we're here.
Yeah.
And if I can, help
Yes.
do that to someone else who's watching this, then I think that's a great, that's a great outcome for today's podcast.
And I guess keep the curiosity alive.
Oh yes, very much,
Yeah.
very much, in a safe way.
Very safe.
Yes.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much.